Freedom, a word so vast, so powerful, yet so misunderstood. We chase it as if it lies beyond walls, beyond fences, beyond laws, or beyond the reach of others. We imagine freedom as escape from burdens, from hardship, from pain, from expectation. Yet what if the chains that bind us are not outside, but within? What if true freedom is not the breaking of external shackles, but the mastery over the empire inside us, the mind, the emotions, the impulses that rule our day-to-day existence? Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king who led an empire while wrestling with his own inner battles, reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Imagine a life where no external storm can uproot your peace, where no insult can shatter your dignity, where no desire can enslave your will. This is the life of true freedom. This is the life of self-control. But self-control is no easy path. It is not the repression of our humanity or the denial of feeling. It is the profound choice to be the master of our nature, to govern ourselves with wisdom rather than be ruled by whim or fear. Epictetus, born a slave yet freed by philosophy, tells us, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Consider this deeply. All the riches, all the power, all the fleeting pleasures mean nothing if your mind is a tempest, if your soul is a prisoner to anger, envy, or despair. Freedom, then, begins where control begins, within the sanctum of your own will. To master the self is to walk a narrow path. It is to cultivate awareness, that sharp, quiet gaze that watches thoughts as they arise without being swept away. It is to practice clarity, seeing the world as it is, not as the mind colors it with fear or longing. It is to find purpose, a lodestar that guides action not toward transient gain, but toward virtue and meaning. Seneca, wise beyond his years, urges us, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." How many times have you lost freedom in the prison of your own anxious mind? How many battles have you fought against shadows cast by fear or desire? The Stoic calls you now to let go of these chains forged by imagination and to reclaim sovereignty over your own reason. The journey to freedom demands discipline, daily, relentless discipline. It is waking up each morning and choosing to act with intention rather than reaction. It is standing firm in the face of discomfort, knowing that each challenge is a forge that tempers the soul. Discipline is not a burden, but a liberation, the very air that frees the mind from chaos. Gratitude enters here, not as a hollow platitude, but as a powerful recognition of the present moment's gift. To be grateful for what you have, not lament what you lack, is to silence the restless craving that robs freedom. Adaptability, too, is a form of control, the grace to bend without breaking, to flow with the currents of life without losing direction. And resilience, the unyielding return to the center after every fall, is the final pillar. For freedom is not the absence of hardship, but the power to endure and transform it. As you cultivate these qualities, you build a fortress within, a citadel unassailable by fortune's whims or the tumult of others. True freedom is the calm command of your own mind and heart. Ask yourself, where does your freedom lie? Is it in fortune, fame, or fleeting pleasure? Or is it in the mastery of your own self, your thoughts, your emotions, your choices? Remember these words, spoken across centuries, but alive in your moment. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Epictetus. Own your freedom. Own your self-control. For in that ownership, you find peace, power, and the unshakable joy of true liberty. Self-control is not a distant ideal. It is forged in the small moments, the quiet victories of daily life. It is the decision to breathe through frustration instead of lashing out. It is the choice to respond with calm reason when chaos surrounds you. It is the courage to stand firm in your values when others bend like reeds in the wind. Imagine the power in this. Each moment of control is a brick laid in the foundation of your freedom. Every time you master a fleeting impulse, you build a stronger fortress within. Every time you choose reason over rage, patience over panic, wisdom over whim, you move closer to true sovereignty. But the path is not without hardship. The mind is a restless sea, always tempting you toward distraction, desire, and despair. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." The storms of life are not obstacles to freedom. They are the very tools that forge it. When temptation whispers that you must react, remember the space between impulse and action. That space is your kingdom, your throne. Stand there. Hold it sacred. Make no hasty moves that betray your deeper self. Control your desires, and they cease to control you. Master your fears, and they lose their power to paralyze. Rule your anger, and you become unshakable. Freedom is the quiet strength of the Stoic sage, who walks through life with eyes wide open, undeterred by fortune's fickle favor. Marcus Aurelius faced plague, war, betrayal, and the weight of an empire. Yet he remained free because his freedom was not outside. It was within. He wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is the paradox of freedom. The very obstacles that seek to chain you become the keys to your liberation. Resilience is born in resistance. Peace is born in struggle. Freedom is born in self-control. You are invited to embrace this truth, not as a distant philosophy, but as a living practice. Let your mind be the captain of your ship, steering through storms with steady hands and calm heart. Let your reason be your compass, guiding you away from the rocks of passion and impulse. Let your virtues be your sails, catching the winds of purpose and meaning. True freedom is not found in the absence of limits, but in the mastery of limits. It is the power to choose your response, to govern your thoughts, to live according to your highest self. No external circumstance can grant you this freedom. Only you can claim it. Only you can live it. So rise, stand tall in the sovereignty of your mind. Own your self-control, and step fully into the unshakable freedom that has always been your birthright. Imagine your mind as a vast, ancient fortress perched atop a rugged cliff. The raging sea below, your emotions, your impulses, the chaos of the world, throws wave after wave against your walls. Yet the fortress stands firm, unyielding, because it is built on rock, not sand. This fortress is your self-control. This fortress is your freedom. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, likened the mind to a citadel, a place not easily stormed by external forces. He said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If your thoughts are turbulent, your soul is a tempest. If your thoughts are calm, your soul is a still lake reflecting the stars." To live freely is to choose the color of your thoughts. to paint your inner world with peace, wisdom, and strength. And this choice, this mastery, begins with awareness. Awareness is the lantern that illuminates the darkest corridors of your mind. It reveals the patterns of habit, the shadows of fear, the sparks of desire. Without awareness, self-control is blind, a fragile shield, easily shattered. But with it, you see the enemy before it strikes. You choose your response before reaction chains you. Epictetus taught that it is not events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. He said, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of things." This is the power of clarity, to see things as they truly are, stripped of the distortions of emotion and bias. With clarity, you pierce the veil of illusion. You understand that wealth, praise, even life itself are fleeting, that what truly endures is virtue, wisdom, courage, justice, temperance. To live freely is to live in accordance with these eternal values. But clarity and virtue require discipline. Discipline is the daily practice of turning your gaze inward, of aligning your actions with your principles. It is the choice to do what is right, even when it is difficult, even when no one is watching. Seneca reminded us, what matters most is whether one is progressing toward wisdom. Discipline sharpens the mind, like a whetstone sharpens a blade. It strengthens your resolve so that when storms come, and they will, you stand unbroken. Yet discipline without gratitude is cold and hollow. Gratitude is the fire that warms the heart, the light that softens the edges of hardship. To be grateful is to recognize the gifts hidden within struggle. It transforms suffering into growth, loss into learning, pain into purpose. Adaptability is the river that flows through this fortress. It is the grace to bend with life's ever-changing currents without losing your core. The Stoics understood that resistance to change is resistance to life itself. To live freely is to embrace change, to move with it, to find opportunity in the unexpected. Finally, resilience is the spirit's return to center after every storm. It is the unbreakable thread that weaves through every choice, every moment of self-control, every act of courage. Resilience turns hardship into wisdom, fear into strength, limitation into liberation. Remember, true freedom is not the absence of challenges. It is the power to face them with unwavering self-control. It is the freedom to choose your thoughts, your actions, your attitude, no matter what life throws your way. It is the freedom to become the master of your own destiny. So rise with this knowledge. Build your fortress of self-control. Own your mind, own your soul, and step into the boundless freedom that comes with mastering yourself. And now, stand still for a moment and feel it. The quiet power that flows from self-control. It is the power to choose peace when chaos rages. It is the power to stand firm when the world tries to shake you. It is the power to be unshaken by fortune, unbowed by misfortune, and unbroken by hardship. Freedom is not a prize won by chance, nor a gift bestowed by others. It is the victory claimed by the one who conquers themselves. The freedom that matters most is the freedom within, the sovereign rule over your own mind and spirit. Look back on your life and see the moments you were pulled by fear, anger, or desire. Know that in those moments, your freedom was given away. But each new breath, each new choice brings the chance to reclaim it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." True freedom is not in debating it, but living it. It is in the discipline to act with integrity, the courage to endure, the wisdom to accept what cannot be changed, and the grace to grow through every trial. This is your path. To master yourself is to master life itself. To govern your mind is to govern your destiny. To walk with self-control is to walk truly free. No storm can bind you. No fate can break you. No circumstance can define you. You are the captain of your soul. You are the master of your freedom. Hold fast to this truth. Live it daily, and in doing so, you will know a freedom that is unshakable, eternal, and deeply yours. True freedom is self-control. Claim it, live it, become it. Unlock your true power. Start mastering yourself today. Subscribe now and join the journey to unstoppable freedom.